dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. It is 5 o'clock. I'm Will Puckett.
And I'm Cassidy Strickland. Thank you so much for waking up with us on this Thursday or Friday Eve.
Ooh, the weekend's almost here.
No.
It is a chilly start to this morning, and I'm in a little bit better mood this morning, Cassidy, and I bet you can't guess why.
Because, well, I have a guess, but I don't know.
You don't want to take a chance?
No.
Let's bring Brandon in and see if he knows why. Brandon, can you guess why I'm in a little bit better mood this morning?
Because there's flurries outside.
You are right, my man. There's flurries going on this morning.
I know you too well, and you can see some of those on parts of the camera network this morning. Let's start in Pikeville at the Pikeville Medical Center camera this morning. Can't quite see them there, but again, falling in parts there. I'll show you the live pinpoint Doppler radar here in just a second. Come back to WYMT, and we see outside of our studios this morning, it's pretty quiet. Just a few little flakes falling over Whitesburg as well. All quiet there for the most part, but you see them. There they are. A little bit of blue specks here and there on Doppler, and we're seeing those across the eastern parts of the state, about the eastern two-thirds of the states. Let me get my words together here, and going into parts of West Virginia as well. Temperatures, that is the big story, and you're going to hear me use this next word quite a bit this morning. It is frigid out there this morning. 19 Logan and Wise, 21 Jackson, Hazard, Pikeville, 22 London. When you factor in the wind chill, you see the wind speeds there, 18 miles in Monticello, 10 in London. It feels like the single digits in Logan. It feels like the low teens, close to the single digits in Wise, London, Pikeville, Prestonsburg, and parts of southern Kentucky. So just kind of keep that in mind if you're heading out this morning. Remember how it was about almost 20 degrees cooler yesterday morning than it was the morning before? Well, it's almost 20 degrees cooler this morning than it was yesterday morning. So take that into consideration. We've ranked the coffee meter all the way up to max warming needed this morning, and the out-the-door forecast doesn't improve a whole lot later today because temperatures only top out in the low 30s at best. I'm forecasting 30 on the money. So bundle up, stay warm, even with sunshine. It's not moving a whole lot. I'll have the rest of the forecast, including talking a little bit about what's going or what could happen this weekend. Let's put it that way here in just a few minutes.
All righty, Brandon, thank you. Well, this morning, deputies in Pulaski County continue to investigate after someone was shot during a burglary.
It happened early Tuesday morning in Rocky Point, rather. That's where a homeowner confronted a burglar, ultimately shooting him. Deputies say 38-year-old William Oxher was flown to UK hospital. So far, they have not released much information, but we do know that the shooting happened outside of the home. Investigators also tell us there have been several burglaries in that area recently, but they still aren't sure if they are all connected. It's unclear if there will be any charges. Right now we know Oxher is still receiving treatment. However, we do not have an update on his condition.
A trial date is finally set. Yesterday we learned Thomas Miracle and Ashley Lawson will appear in court in April of 2020. They are accused of hiring Roscoe Henson in July of 2015 to murder Trevor Dykes. Henson has already pleaded guilty to murder. Now, Trevor's mother and father say after all this time, they are ready for the case to finally end. Since their son's death, they have continued doing what they can to keep his memory alive and heal. WYMT's Connor James has more.
A solemn morning in Clay County. The wind howling as Trevor Dykes' parents approach another year without their son. With each calendar day that passes, still his murder they cannot wrap their heads around.
Our lives will never be normal.
A trial date finally set Monday for the two people prosecutors say hired his killer.
It should have never happened. He was a good boy. He worked every day, loved his kids, loved his family.
It's been nearly 4 years since a man carelessly took Trevor's life. His mother's and father's patience is running out.
It's not fair.
But as we talked about Trevor's life, you could not help but notice their demeanor change from sadness to happiness. A drive down a holler and a walk to a spot sitting peacefully under the pines sits the memory and legacy Trevor left behind, his love for cars carrying a new meaning.
Yeah, I'm trying to complete them. I mean, it's taking a little bit, but it's a little bit at a time, you know.
As the family waits day after tireless day for years to see justice, Trevor's dad and some buddies have been fixing up Trevor's old cars.
Had the hood changed. All the insides are going to go I'm having all them put gray and black.
Trevor had quite the collection of Mustangs sitting around his place. He absolutely loved them.
That's what he loved. You know, that's his car, man. I wouldn't take nothing in the world for it.
Now, as each day goes by, as the family awaits trial, this is something to distract them.
Yeah, it really does.
Something to ease their minds. The family has a little saying, Trevor will forever be banging gears.
I'm really going to do it for him.
This is just a simple way to help push that legacy along.
Because he wanted a street car, yeah.
In Clay County, Connor James, WYMT Mountain News.
We have covered this case for the last 3.5 years. You can find all of our coverage on our website at WYMT.com.
Well, a man's truck is stolen and dismantled. While Doyle Wright was in the hospital after a car crash, someone stole his work truck. They then drove it behind an abandoned building before stripping it for parts.
And they stripped all of his tools, all his air tools, air compressor, all of his big truck tools, tire changing equipment, all of the parts he had to do roadside service for tractor trailers.
Kentucky State Police say that they arrested Joseph Nix and Joey Hacker in relation to the theft. They are currently in the Laurel County Detention Center. However, the owners say that they are offering a $1,000 reward for any additional information.
We continue to learn more about an improvised explosive device found in Harlan County Tuesday. Officials say someone found it in Everts near the sewage plant. Now they say they do not believe it was as dangerous as they first thought. We are told ATF is looking into the device. There's no word on if any charges will be filed.
In Laurel County this morning, deputies say a man assaulted a woman with a fire extinguisher. They arrested Nathan Lewis Hale early yesterday morning. Deputies say he first shot at the woman with a rifle, then he took the extinguisher, sprayed her with it, and then used it to hit her in the back and side. Deputies say they also found drugs at the home. Hale now faces assault and drug charges.
Also in Laurel County, a man is found not guilty in the death of his twin brother. Antonio Johnson, seen on the scene here, was charged with murdering his brother Anthony. Police say he killed him with a hammer in 2016. The jury heard testimony Monday. They delivered a not guilty verdict Tuesday.
Well, a new prosecutor will be assigned to a Whitley County double murder case. Paul Parsons was charged with the capital murders of Denver Neasley and Joshua Wernicke back in 2017. Parsons was in a Whitley County courtroom Monday for a pretrial conference. The previous attorney, Ronnie Bowling, recused himself. Bowling said it was because he had previously met with a member of Parsons' family when he was a defense attorney. Another hearing is scheduled for the 15th.
Earlier this week, we showed you video of a former Greenup County teacher dragging an autistic student down the hallway by his wrists. Now that teacher has pleaded not guilty. The video of Trina Abrams has sparked outrage across the region. Police say the incident happened in October at Wirtland Elementary School. According to the Greenup County School Superintendent, Abrams is no longer teaching at the school.
In Washington County, Tennessee now, a woman is facing several felony charges after she was seen putting her 8-month-old baby in an outside freezer. Brittany Smith faces charges of felony abuse and neglect. According to an affidavit, a person saw Smith holding the child next to an unused freezer in their backyard. A witness says that they then found that child inside of the freezer with the lid closed. One of the witnesses says it was fortunate that they found the child, or the story would have had a tragic ending.
But still, you know, the lid was shut, it's airtight, no air gets in, and if no one spotted her with the baby, that baby would have been dead.
Sources say that the child is okay and was taken to Johnson City Medical Center.
Back in eastern Kentucky now, a fire destroyed a home in the Combs community of Perry County. It happened yesterday. This is video of the flames. Thankfully, no one was inside at the time. It is still unclear what caused the blaze.
Well, a rock slide causes some major delays in Pike County. It happened yesterday morning on US 460 below the old Millard High School. During warmer days, rain builds up on the rocks, and when the water freezes, it expands. That means as it thaws out, mud and rock debris can fall onto roads, causing a big mess. Highway Superintendent Josh Blackburn says slides like this are not easy to clean up.
We have to bust up the bigger rocks with this excavator behind us. Then we will load them out and haul them away.
Officials with the Transportation Cabinet say that the road is now back open in both directions.
A heads up for you this morning. Officials in Pikeville plan to hold a moment of silence for Officer Scotty Hamilton. It is scheduled for tomorrow at 1:11 in the afternoon. It will be held in front of the Pikeville Police Department. 111 was Officer Hamilton's badge number. You'll remember he died in the line of duty last March. 5:10 on this Thursday morning. Coming up on Mountain News this morning, we prepare for the possibility of some snow in our area. One country is already a winter wonderland.
Plus, Kevin Hart has backed out of hosting the Academy Awards, so who will fill his shoes? We will tell you more in your Eye on Entertainment report.
A few snowflakes can still be around in spots this morning, but the big story is the cold. I'll have your frigid forecast in about 2.5 minutes.